位，马上发车21位，马上发车。机场大巴到。
联盟成员中国国际航空公司的航班和准时。Dear all passengers, we are honored to.
Duty to inform all passengers on the cabin security of this flight.
Dear all passengers, our plane will be taking off shortly. Please make sure that your seatbelts are securely fastened and your mobile phones remain switched off. Set your airplane mode. Thank you.
北京首都国际机场，我们将在3号候机楼进港。机舱外的温度26摄氏度，79华氏度。